Hey y'all. First of all, thank you for tuning in. It's Lock and Crawl here, and I want to put this video together. The other day I was watching a YouTube video about a gentleman out in Alaska who is a guide, and some videos have been, you probably came across it already. He actually protected his some of his clients while he was out, I believe they were fishing, and he was approached by a bear. And unfortunately, this bear retreated, but then came back and started charging, not just towards him, but actually was standing right over his clients. And he had to do what none of us want to do, but he did have to protect himself, and his clients' lives were at risk, and he ended up killing the bear. Although that is unfortunate, what I thought was pretty amazing is that he actually killed this bear with a 9mm pistol. That's right. I was shocked myself when I heard that. When the video started going into details as to how it all played out, he had no choice. He had to put the bear down. And it only took 3 shots. So as you could imagine, I was very interested in following along and watching this entire video to see how this played out. A 9mm never really made much sense. I thought it would just piss off the bear or any large animal. So I figured I would put a little video together. As you may know, Lock and Crawl here, we do a lot of off-road rock crawling. We have a JK and a Gladiator. JK is the rock crawler. We're out in some of these remote areas. I have my CCW. I always carry a pistol with me at all times. However, when we go camping, you guys have seen my videos. We do have a Gladiator. We do have this Conqueror trailer. We go again into some remote areas. We do go into some campgrounds, but we often do go into remote areas. We're out in the middle of nowhere. So obviously we have to have a means of protecting ourselves, because if in case of an emergency, if we were to have to call 911, before we even get, we have Starlink, but before we even get help or get rescue to get to wherever we're at, it most likely would take hours. It would not be enough time. So we have to have ways to be able to take care of ourselves while we're out there. So I thought I'd put a little video together as to what we do for protection for ourselves. First of all, as I mentioned, on a day-to-day basis, I do carry a pistol, and my pistol of choice is a SIG P365 X Macro. It's chambered in a 9mm, and the rounds that I put in, this is a 17-round mag. We're out here in Arizona, so we don't have some of those restrictions that some of these other states do. Yeah, so it comes with, I carry 2 mags on a daily basis with the hollow points. And I go with the federal hollow points is what I have. However, even though this could definitely cause some damage to a bear, I don't believe that, in my opinion, at least to this point, I haven't had to have a situation, thank God. I hope I'm never put in a position, but in case I have to, I do have ways of, again, protecting ourselves. But after watching that video, best believe that I went, did my research, and found out which bullet this gentleman used. And that is the Buffalo Bore Outdoorsmand. It's the 9mm plus P. And that is a 147 grain. And if you take a look, here is the round. Looks like your standard 9mm, but this thing packs a punch. To be able to take a bear down with 3 shots. Now I don't remember the exact weight, but I know it was a big bear. We'll have to find the link. Hopefully I can just put this down, put that video in there. But here's my hollow points. And these are, again, what I carry. And let me tell you, I mean, I don't have a scale with me right now, but you definitely feel the difference in the weight. So this has some serious stopping power. So since then, this is my round of choice when I'm out camping or I'm outdoors. This is what I carry. This is what I have in one of my magazines, just in case if something were to take place. And again, great gun. I have it set up with a Trigicon red dot. Not much customization to this pistol. If you guys aren't aware of these P365s, they're amazing. They're very lightweight. They're very narrow, almost like a 1911, and you still carry 17 rounds. And this is also it's not chambered, so it's been all of my weapons here have been safety checked just to make sure that we're good. So anyway, so that is what's always on my hip when I'm out there outdoors. And if you're going to be carrying a pistol on an everyday carry, get yourself a good belt. In this case here, Snake Eater is what I've used for many years, but this one is called, they recently came out with this this awesome everyday carry rough belt. It's called the NextBelt is the name of the company. And my choice of a holster, that's another thing too. You want to get yourself a really good quality holster. And StealthGear is an amazing company, great products. All of my pistols, I have multiple of these StealthGear holsters, and they come. This one's in camo, pretty cool. And it also has, you have different varieties, you know, depending on your preference. Appendix carry, inside the waistband, outside the waistband. In my case, I prefer outside the waistband. So what's nice about this pistol is on how narrow it is on the 1911. This is the StealthGear holster with that NextBelt. And look at how narrow that sits. And it's a very cool holster. For this particular model, I went with the carbon fiber there on the end. It's pretty neat. But it sits very, very narrow. Be able to tuck it in with a hoodie, with a larger shirt, and it hides pretty well, concealed. Again, I have my CCW. So that is my everyday carry. When I'm out there in the woods, I'm also carrying this on my side hip. And sometimes when we're backpacking and we're deep in the woods, because I also solo camp. I haven't put any videos together with solo camping, but I will eventually. I do carry my Glock 19. Now, I do prefer the SIG. However, my Glock 19, what I love about this gun is, and now, as I mentioned, this is also, it's a Glock 19, chambered at 9mm. Could use the same rounds. But what I love about this Glock is that in my backpack, also, in case I had to, which is very light, is the KelTec Sub2000. And what's awesome about this is a backpack rifle, also chambered at 9mm. What's cool about this rifle is that I can use the same magazines as my Glock 19 or a Glock 17, which I also have. I rarely carry the Glock 17, but these are more of my preferences as to what I'm showing here for again, the outdoors or as I mentioned, hiking, camping, whatever the case may be. But I thought that this KelTec is such a cool rifle, and the accuracy. I mean, I've shot, I want to say it's about 125, 150 yards, small target, no issues. It was almost as accurate as my AR, which I thought was pretty neat. And again, it is a, again, the magazine's empty. It's a backpack gun. So it folds up to pretty much that, and it fits into your backpack. I mean, how cool is that? And again, this is the KelTec Sub2000. You know, if you're not necessarily, you're out there hunting, but maybe small game, rabbit, you know, you need to hunt yourself a meal. 9mm might be a little too much for like a rabbit, maybe a 22 be sufficient. There's some 22 rifles out there. Backpack guns were pretty cool, but I again prefer a 9mm. And if I'm able to carry one rifle, one pistol, use the same magazine, same ammo, why wouldn't I? I mean, this is such a cool setup. So that's what I do with that. And again, that's the Sub2000. In addition to that, I also, in the camper, I'll get back to the bear spray, but I also carry a 12 gauge. I have a 12 gauge with me, obviously with my wife's with me. So if something were to go down, something goes crazy, most likely, it's unlikely that a large animal or a bear were to attack us, but you never know. I mean, it's possible. You're in the middle of nowhere. But there's also the possibility of people that are up to no good. And again, you're in the middle of nowhere, so you got to have ways to protect yourself. Now, I do carry the 12 gauge, and I do have, what I have these chamber with and what I carry is actually slugs. Your buckshot, it's not going to do much. It's just going to, in my opinion, probably piss off a bear. But a slug will definitely cause some damage. So this is a federal slug for my 12 gauge. So just to kind of give you a feel for what that's like. So that is something else. Now, if we were to be approached by a bear, and again, thank God it hasn't happened, they scare you. We've came across them at a distance. They haven't gone close to us. However, if they do, trust when I say this would be my first way of protecting ourselves and defending ourselves, alongside with having our pistol or shotgun ready to go just in case. If depending on the situation, you just don't know. I mean, this thing could probably just sneak up on you. You don't know. You never know. So you have to be prepared. However, when we're out there in the woods, we're by a lake, something could just come right up on you. Bear spray. Bear spray will definitely scare off a bear. Unless it's out there and it's hungry, where it's a mama bear with cubs, this probably won't do anything to it. Probably won't scare it off. But what's cool about this particular model, this is the UDAP. It comes with a holster. You could just put that on your backpack or your belt and carry that with you wherever you go. In my opinion, at minimum, bear spray. And I mean, just like pepper spray, this could definitely cause some damage to people's sight. If you were to be attacked by a person out in the woods and you got bear spray, at minimum, you do have some sort of way to protect yourself. And this will definitely cause damage. So that's that. Another thing that's very important, when you're out there in the woods, some of these areas, it's really dark. You might not be by your vehicle. Definitely carry some flashlights with you. Olight, I've had Surefire. I've had quite a few other flashlights, and you can get very expensive, depending on your taste. But I've came to realize that Olight makes some awesome products at more affordable prices and with great warranty as well. And what I love about these little Olights, they're rechargeable. You just plug it in with the cable, USB, and they fit on all rails. So, and you got a little switch on both sides of the pistol to be able to turn your light on. Again, works on all rails. This one as well. There you go. But actually, well, I don't know. I think I have to adjust this. But anyways, I don't typically use a light for my SIG. I only really use it for my Glock, for my 19. But there's that. You could also put them to your AR wherever you have a rail. I haven't had to put one on this as well, but you could. It's got some rails as well if you wanted to add some stuff to that. But I prefer it like this, nice and simple. In some cases, I just keep it simple. My Glock, I do have an extended slide, mag release as well, and the receiver as well. That's a little mag well right there. It helps when you're switching out your mags. We kind of put it in quick, and some night sights. Not much. Again, keeping it simple. This Olight is pretty cool too. Pretty bright. You just kind of hold it down, and you got different settings there in terms of the brightness. You push it one time, and it also has a laser, which I think is pretty cool, especially when you're, kind of pointing stuff out. I mean, it's got its uses, but it's a pretty cool light. And then this is the powerful flashlight that I do have. I've had others in the past, but the fact that this is rechargeable and also comes with a holster, and this itself is the charger. You just plug in your cable there, and this is your charger. Once you set it down, it starts to charge obviously if your battery needs a charge. Same thing, you just hold it down, push it, and what's cool about this one is that you actually have a setting where it's got a wheel to bring it, and I forgot the lumens, but this is very powerful. I want to say it's in the thousands. You bring it down, you just turn it off. I mean, it's a great flashlight and very rugged, and it's got this nice little rubber piece to it. But I'll put some of these links in the description there, that way you guys have access to as to what I have here. But that's that. Again, flashlights, lights, very important. The other thing too that I believe is very important are knives. Now, I do have quite a few different favorites. Benchmade is one of my favorite companies, one of my favorite manufacturers. I do have quite a few Benchmates. However, most recently, I came across this at a gun show. It's a company called M3 Tactical, and it's a tech knife, is what this is. Comes with a cool little sheath here, and it's a badass knife, let me tell you. Take a look at that. Foldable knives are cool. I think they're important to have, and it's easier to carry. But something that you could actually be able to mount on your belt and have a solid knife, especially when you're out there, out in the woods or in the bush, however you want to say it. Chopping up wood, if you don't have an axe or chainsaw, and you're in the middle of nowhere, and you have a knife like this. I mean, you literally don't have to worry about the mechanics of the folding knife. You could use this and just get another piece of log or wood and just hammer it down and chop wood with this. I mean, this is a very, very cool tactical knife. And yeah, I mean, I believe that's it. I just, again, wanted to put this quick video together just to kind of share as to what we do to protect ourselves while we're out there. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, but I would love to hear from you guys. I'm always, as I mentioned before, I'm always up to trying new things, or if I come across a new product or something that can replace something else, or it's better than what I currently have, within reasonable price. I don't try to overspend as well. I definitely do my research. Once I come across a product, I'll investigate, take a look at it, and try to find the best price possible. And if it makes sense to replace what I already have, then I'll move forward. If not, I keep what I have. And I'm very particular as to what we have, especially when it comes to protection. Because in my opinion, you don't want to have some garbage pistol or garbage ammunition and you're out there trying to protect your life. I mean, even with a belt or a holster, there's some people out there just carry their pistols in their pocket, or have some inexpensive holster that the gun's just falling all over the place, or don't even have a good solid belt. And again, they might have a decent holster, but the holster is just hanging all over the place because the belt is not a good belt. You need a good, solid, everyday carry, heavy duty belt. Again, this is my opinion. Everyone, for each his own, but I thought I would share my information here. But again, please share with what you guys have and what you guys do. And yeah, if you like this kind of stuff, like I said before, please subscribe, like, comment, and please share. Some of the people that are out there have no clue as to what they need to do when they're out there protecting themselves. And pretty soon, next time I go out to the woods, I do plan on putting together a video on how to, some of the tools that you need to, you know, build a fire, make a fire, find the right rocks in the right area to make a fire pit if there's no ring, if you're out in the middle of nowhere. If you guys have seen some of my videos, most recently I was out there camping and I had to put a fire out. I actually had to set up my Starlink and reach out to Forest Service for them to come out and help me fight this fire. I wasn't fully prepared. I had some stuff to help to kind of contain it, but I still needed more. I needed water and I needed more manpower to put this thing out. It became a root fire. So I think it's very important that some of us, again, don't really know how to start a fire or how to put a fire out. And there's no judgment against that. They just don't know. So I thought it would be important that I put something like that together. So with that thought, again, the woods, there's a lot of craziness that could happen out there. So you want to have, again, some way of protecting yourself. And fire is also part of it. Making sure that you protect the woods, protect ourselves, and that, you know, that we know what we're doing out there. And I'm no professional at this. I'm just going off of my experience over the years, and I've had my CCW for over 22 years, and we go out shooting very often. That's another thing too. If you don't own guns and you do want to get into it, first things first, shop around, get yourself a good gun. Once you got one, go to the range often, practice, holster it, you know, practice with dummy rounds. Practice, get comfortable with it, play with it, take it apart, clean it, get comfortable with your gun. Don't go off and buy a bunch of guns. Start off with one and just work your way through it, play around with it, get comfortable with it, before you start carrying it and go out there. Because if you're not comfortable with it and you're out there in a situation, if it's out in the woods or anywhere else, you're going to have a very difficult time using it, protecting yourself. Not just because you may not know how to use it, but you're going to go through some emotional points that you're going to question it, and it might be too late. So I would highly recommend that if you do plan on getting a pistol or looking into any sort of weapon, that you practice with it. But yeah, I hope this information was helpful. Please like, subscribe, and I do appreciate everybody's support. We do also have some merchandise, lockandcrawl.com, like this shirt. Here's a hat. Like we got hats, got a variety of stuff. A bracelet with a little bullet, 9mm, because it's my favorite. But yeah, stuff like that. But yeah, check it out. Again, appreciate everybody's support, and you guys take care of yourselves out there. Peace.